Hey, thank you so much for joining me in my little corner of the world over to you. I appreciate you so much for stopping by. I have a lovely show today. I speak with somebody who does a little jazzy type music, but also mixes in some other genres. She's from Italy, has been here in the States for a long time in the Philadelphia area. Valentina Sounds. What a great conversation we have. It's just wonderful to speak with somebody who loves just getting out there. It's the passion of getting into a business that is quite tough. And we talk about her struggles and many, many, many triumphs. It's a good talk. I really hope you enjoy this one. Love talking to people from Philadelphia. It is just an incredible place to visit, although I have not. So, how can I say it's such an incredible place to visit if I haven't even been there? But I got a friend over there in the Westchester area. So, I hear a lot about it. Love to stop by there one day and just a wonderful place where you can just like hop on a train and go right on up to New York like Valentina does, and so many others, like my good buddy there, Dan, who loves being there and gets to run up to New York for all kinds of special gigs and things to do and see. It's a wonderful place, I am sure. So, hope you enjoy our conversation here today as we speak here in the summer of 2026. It's chugging along just fine as America is now ready to celebrate 250 years of existence. Some really interesting things that are going to be happening on the 4th of July, and really excited about it. I remember the 200th. I'm not trying to date myself here. I was just a little kid, but a lot of memories. And I just hope the spirit is just as alive now as it was 50 years ago. And I want to be positive and optimistic. Yes, I do think that it is. I think that we got a bright future ahead of us. I want to be optimistic about all of our futures here, but the future of the arts and people like Valentina. I wish everybody the best, and she's doing some great music there. I highly recommend getting her new CD, and she's also pressing on vinyl. We talk a little bit about that as well. You can get it wherever you get your music. It's called What Keeps Me Alive, Valentina Sounds out there. I prefer it on Amazon Music, as I keep saying, but plenty of other places. And go to the website, valentinasounds.com is where you can order and see that it's not like really a tour schedule, but it looks like one actually. She stays up there in that Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York area, and she's going down to Rehoboth Beach. So she's up there in that area. I wish she would come down here in the ATL, but it costs to travel. It costs to pay the band too, which she's got a backing band behind her. She's mainly a piano solo artist, as you will hear on this new release, but does great live shows, gets out there. Wonderful, wonderful voice. Great story. I really urge you to listen to this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Good
Hello,
morning. How you
hello.
doing?
Good, how are you?
Great. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you on the road? I always ask everybody where they are at first.
I am
And
not. I'm home as of now. We're doing small tours, but always coming back to sleep it at home.
good old Philadelphia,
Yeah, yeah, just outside. I'm in Drexel Hill.
Drexel Hill. In proximity to downtown, how long does that take?
Oh, 20 minutes?
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful area. We are now in the summertime, so it's a little
Very
bit,
nice weather, yes.
yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, and it's a little bit humid here, but we're getting much needed rain for sure, which
Yeah,
we've needed. We were in a drought, but I don't know how we could be in a drought now because it's like the rainforest.
yeah.
Totally
That's
is.
true. Where are you
Yeah,
located?
I'm in Atlanta in the
Okay,
southeast here. Yeah, very
nice.
good.
Yeah, yeah, it's raining over here too, but it's nice. It brings the temperature down, which, for all the outdoor shows that we have coming up is it's better this way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bring it on down. People could be comfortable at your shows. So how long
hmm
have you been in Philadelphia?
I have lived here for 17 years coming this upcoming January, so I guess 16 and a half.
Yeah. No, why Philadelphia? As far as being an artist goes, and everybody has their own personal reasons as to where they're locating and all of that. So why not like Los Angeles, Chicago, New York?
So I'm originally from Italy, and the East Coast is closer to Europe. So if I have to go visit my
Oh.
parents would have never forgiven me if I had moved to Los Angeles.
There are even
And,
extra jet lag, right?
yeah, yeah, like and like it's difficult to get to LA from like you do have to have a stopover somewhere
Oh yeah.
In the inner United States. You have a either stopover in New York and Chicago or like, there are a couple of layovers to go to LA. I think I would have never gone back home to visit if I had gone to the East Coast. Also, like big cities intimidate me a little bit.
Huh.
As much as I love New York, it is so chaotic and there's so many people there and so many great bands and great actors. When I moved to the United States, I still wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life and with my
Huh.
career. I still had aspirations of doing musical theater and acting. So I was seriously considering New York, but honestly, we landed on Philadelphia. We, as me and my partner at the time, because he had family in Philly, and it was cheaper for
Yeah.
us. Like I'm already an expat. I'm already, paying for college. We had basically a rent-free living situation in Philadelphia, where in New York we would have had to pay New York rents. And
Yeah.
so we ended up being choosing Philadelphia over New York.
Yeah. And honestly, these days, it's so easy to just jump on that train and get up to New York if you needed to. Hey, I gotta do a cabaret show up in New York, and that's where the eyeballs are. All
Yeah,
this talent scouts and
totally.
everything.
And now that my career is a little bit more like I noticed it yesterday, actually. I was like, look at that. I'm actually doing the things that I love and that I want to do. And yeah, every now and then I jump on a train and I go to New York and I take a voice lesson with my Broadway teacher. And I meet friends for lunch and, we go see a show and then I come home. It's great. It's the train really, you're up there in an hour and a half and it's comfortable
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I can come home to my doggy and my dog has a little backyard that she can have access to and I can
Oh.
afford living where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah, definitely far more affordable. I have a friend in Westchester. So he's
Hmm.
always like, I'm so jealous. It's like Amtrak is not as so big here. We do have a stopover here, a station here in Atlanta, but it's not as
Hmm.
big in the Southeast. But I love the idea of a train and just giving up the car. It's just so, God, I get so sick of the car. It's just like, it's
Yeah.
so car
Yeah,
centric
especially
here.
now, right?
Yeah, it's terrible,
Hmm.
especially with the gas. I don't have an electric car, so it's like, oh no, I just can't stand it. But where you grew up in Italy, oh my gosh, I have visited once. The train systems, I got on this more modernized train to go from Rome to Florence and Venice. This thing was
Yeah.
amazing. It's like the culture there is, it's just incredible.
Yeah, and recently they've done some updates and they offer the speed train, the bullet train,
Oh, it's
which like
incredible.
it gives me nausea. It gives me a little bit of a travel sickness because it's so fast. But from Florence, you're in Rome in like 2 hours, which is a little crazy.
Yeah, I
It's
love
convenient.
that trip though. But yeah, that's true if you're really motion sensitive, which I usually am, but wasn't too bad on that. It just got me
Yeah.
there so fast. I'm like,
You're just excited in abroad and
yeah. Oh, it's so fascinating. Italy is just amazing. It must have been. No, when did you leave? I mean, grew
I
up there.
left when I was 23 years old.
Oh my gosh. What a great place to grow up. So you have an insane amount of
Hmm.
memories, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's an interesting, I mean, especially maybe it's a little bit different now, although the newspapers and the blogs that I follow that are Italian seemed to still carry some misogynistic problems. So I grew up in a very patriarchal
Uh,
society where, again, like I didn't think I was gonna be a musician, although my parents insisted that I took piano lessons growing
hmm.
up. I just found it so boring.
Everybody
I,
does. It's
I just
just,
found
yeah,
classical music to be
yeah.
so tedious.
Yeah, it's hard selling it for a kid who's really
It,
young and
yeah,
just
it's a
getting
hard
into it.
sell to a 6-year-old. And so but my first encounter with something creative was writing a short play with my friends in elementary school. And one of their mothers was the facilitator of the theater program. So she helped us out. But I remember being heavily involved in this theater production and knowing everybody's lines and being everybody's sub when someone couldn't come to rehearsal and just playing all the parts. And like, I really wanted to be an actor. And my parents are like, oh no, absolutely not. No, you should definitely not do that. Actresses in Italy are, they only make it if they're someone's important daughter or son, and otherwise you have to sleep your way to the top, and we don't want you to be in that world. Like, so like they actively scared me to not pursue that career because it like they made it look like that was your only two options were to either, I'm a humble daughter of a chef and a small business owner, so no connections with the higher ups in the movie industry. So according to them, I would have just had to sleep my way to the top, which was
That wasn't your only
it wasn't
option.
really what I was looking for. And then the funny thing is that my brother is in the film industry now, right? And back then he was trying to get in. And he had a bunch of friends that, were also in the film industry. I personally was more interested in theater than in film. And they were so demeaning uh, towards the art of doing theater. It was just a very discouraging environment for a young woman who wanted to do something creative, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then I joined a couple of bands, and because I had the piano background, I was the one who knew the most amount of music theory, and they wouldn't listen to me
Yeah, of
and
course.
literally they would say, "Oh, shut up, you're a woman. What do you know about music? What do you know about music theory? You're just a woman." Oh, it's just so freaking upsetting if I think
I'm
about it.
sure. I know. I
Yeah,
know. And
so,
probably much
so
worse over there too. I'm sure
it
being in
really is
Europe.
a lot worse. And now it's a little bit better. I mean, from a work perspective, we support our women a lot more. But in like interpersonal relationships, it's still very much, women are still very much looked down upon. And look, it's not, the United States is not perfect from that point of view, but I have a much better chance of finding people here that respect me as a musician, whether or not I'm a man or a woman or whatever gender, than in Italy. So unfortunately, the job that I wanted to do was not available to me back home. So
Yeah.
I found a home here working with some amazing people over here, and like I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Yeah. And in Italy, where exactly did you grow up?
I grew up in a small town called Forte dei Marmi, which is on the beach in Tuscany. And my
Ooh.
parents had a small business, a small restaurant business. Um, so I always say I grew up in a kitchen.
Oh, I bet. I'm a big Stanley Tucci lover. He's my
Yeah,
my
yeah.
hero. I'm looking like him these days, but it's,
Oh.
it's like, I love that. I love his shows and stuff like that. So it's like food is definitely the culture there, and
Hmm.
being a waiter, it seems to be like such a profession. It's like,
It really is. It's like a legitimate career to be a waiter in Italy. You have to. you have to, there are rules that you have to know and you have to present yourself, etc. I had fun. I enjoyed working at the restaurant. And plus, it was my family business. So there was
Sure.
a certain amount of pride that went into catering to our clientele.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was fun.
It must be really inspirational these days. You're a singer-songwriter, so it's
Hmm.
like I'm sure there's that influence too and a lot of stuff. So as you developed and as you developed as a singer-songwriter, how did that evolve in what you are today?
Um, so how did I get started with the songwriting?
Yeah, yeah.
So this partner that I had that I met, he was American from Philadelphia. I met him when I was in Italy. So after living in Forte dei Marmi, I moved to Bologna because
Ah,
I was looking for a bigger city, right? I was looking for a better community where I could do art or something creative. And he was basically on an extended emotional and psychological leave because he was in a band that broke up and it was tragic for him,
ah, yeah.
right?
So many stories like that in the
So many
business. Oh my
stories. They
gosh.
were signed with William Morris Agency. They were
Oh.
touring the country, and then they just blew up. And he packed. He sold everything he owned and moved to Italy for a few months. And that's how I met him. And he just was writing songs all the time. And he's like, "Well, you play the piano and you sing. Why don't you try writing a song?" And I guess I gave it a try, and I had always been writing and journaling, so it seemed like easy enough to transition into songwriting. The problem is that Italian is a very wordy language. Our words have a lot of syllables. Like to express something in Italian, you need a lot of space.
Yeah, I would
So,
imagine. Yeah.
yeah, so if I'm writing in Italian, I usually write prose and pages and pages and pages of thoughts. And then if I write a song, English is so immediate and have such beautiful short syllable
Right.
words.
Yeah, I never thought
Don't
of it
get,
that way. Yeah.
run, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that is so true. That is so
Yeah.
true. So it must have been like, wow, this is much easier. It's like I could
Yeah, it's
really
like, yeah, and I can be
uh
really poetic in English in a way that, I mean, I've written a few songs in Italian that I am really proud of, but because the majority of my songs are in English, and yeah, I slowly developed this way of how much can I shrink one thought into like a very
yeah.
short phrase. How can I summarize this long Italian prose into 4 or 5 words? So that's a kind of a fun exercise for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Now getting into recording, how many albums are out there now, singles,
There are
since
two
you started?
albums and an EP. The EP is alive, so all the songs that are new and original are either in Bring on the Fire, which was my debut album, or What Keeps Me Alive, which is my second album, which came out May 8th, just last month.
Good. Yeah, and you are available on all the streamers. I do put in a plug for Amazon Music where I've listened to you. So
Thank you.
kudos to Amazon Music for getting you out there. So the title, What Keeps Me Alive? What is keeping you alive? I'm sure it's been asked.
Yes. I mean, music is definitely
Yeah.
one of the reasons I wake up in the morning. And this year I spent the year I quit my daytime job. This is a long story. I quit my
Yeah.
daytime job. I was teaching. I was a choir and theater director. So I was still doing the things that I loved, but catering more to other people's education rather than my own creativity. So this year, I decided to try and see if I could do some private voice lessons and focusing a little bit more on projects that spoke to me in from a more fulfilling from very selfish perspective, I suppose. So I've been doing voice lessons, which has been great. I love working with people one on one. I've been working in theater. I'm a music director, and I've been performing and writing so much more actually. What Keeps Me Alive is out, and I already have 5 songs ready for the next project that I can't wait to get recorded. So I think I can now narrow it down to these 3 things. I love to teach. I love to teach music. I love to connect with people over music and theater. I love being involved in musical theater, and I love writing songs and recording them and then performing them live with people, um, and that alongside friends and family, that's what keeps me alive.
What was the day job that you decided to get out of?
I was a choir and theater director in a high
Oh,
school.
all related. Yeah, that's good. It's still
Yeah,
staying within the arts, so it's not like,
yeah,
hey, I was
yes.
working at this bank for 25 years, I'm out.
And I think maybe if I had been working at a bank, I would have had more creative juices at the end of the day to devote to writing and recording and performing music. But after a whole day spent teaching music and theater, the last thing I wanted to do was come home and do more music and theater. Like,
That is true. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like you doing more of your day job in your own time. It's just
Mhm.
got to be really, yeah, really annoying in that sense too. It's like I'm
It was
burnt
just a
out.
lot. It was a lot.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So putting this album together, what are the inspirations on how the songs were written? How did that come to you? Were you able to just like go off and say, "Oh, I got my notebook out here. I'm going to start writing now." How did you get those songs together as lyrically?
Yeah, so because I wish I had my songbook nearby, I would show it to you.
Yeah.
But because I was working full time, the song took a lot longer to put together than Bring on the Fire. Bring on the Fire kind of like came together in a couple of months. And What Keeps Me Alive, I've been working on those songs for 5 years. So carving time here and there to write a song, and then, as the way that I write lyrics specifically, it because it does come from personal experience and journaling, not everything that I journal turns into a song. So now that I have more time to journal and play music, the transition is faster. But when I was teaching full time, I would have like 30 minutes on Monday, and then 20 minutes the next Saturday. so it was a very diluted process, which in the positive of it, it was that it gave me a lot of time to really think about those songs and what I wanted them to say, and um, the kind of emotional content that I wanted to transmit to people and to get through. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of how the album came together, very slowly and very painfully.
Yeah. And then you're first in 7 years, so you went through the entire pandemic and all
Oh
of
yes,
that.
yes.
Finally got
Hmm.
this together. That's number of years in the making, but people have had far larger gaps in their career. So this is a really I love the jazzy feel, and you got a little Bob Marley influence in there too, and Wake Me Up.
Yes.
It's just I love that. I love the that melange. I mean, you're talking reggae and jazz. It's just
Hmm.
seeing and hearing that is just really amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, yeah. Nice flow too. When you're putting the album together, do you like listen to it all the way through, saying, "Hey, I don't like this order. Should I reorder the songs in a different way?" It seems like a lot of thought was put into that.
Yeah, so because I did a vinyl for this album, um, I had to keep into consideration side A and side B. So when it translated into streaming, it is the flat lineup of those songs. But about midpoint, that's the end of side A, and then side B starts. I didn't know this. I discovered it while I was researching how to print a vinyl. But there is a warp effect as you get closer to the inner ring because
Right.
the grooves become smaller, so you have to put less information in the inner circle of the vinyl. So the louder songs are in the edge and the quieter songs are in the inside of so at the end of each side. So I had to keep into consideration an order of songs that I would be happy with and that would make sense thematically and sonically, while at the same time keeping track of this side A and side B that was gonna go on the vinyl. So I had to meet somewhere in between of both worlds of the piano and voice, just the piano and voice songs and the fully produced
Yeah, that's
songs.
so fascinating about, well, I can't have too much information on these later songs, so I got to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
You did this mostly on your own. You have a producer in Philadelphia, and where did
Yeah,
you
I
record?
worked with two producers. I worked with Matt Muir on the piano and voice songs, and the fully produced one are a collaboration with Ron DiSilvestro.
Nice,
Both
nice.
great guys that respect women very much.
That that really does. That helps. That makes it work. Where did you record? Did you do all this live, or did you do pieces, parts, files,
We
sending them all
did
over?
the during the pandemic we recorded the voice and piano stuff and it's just me in the studio. They're very personal recordings. I really love listening to those very intimate piano and vocal tracks because it's like that's me. It's exactly what I sound like.
Yeah, yeah, and you even have an ode in the album, 10 years of piano singing.
Yes,
Obviously, very
the
obvious.
the ode to I call it the piano player's lament of slowly being substituted by AI. Um, but yeah, I recorded those at Retro City here in Philadelphia with Matt, and it was just me and him in the studio for a week or so, and we had a good time. He was in one room, I was in the other room. We barely even like we talked, but like we kept 6 feet apart and wore masks when we were in the same
Oh my
mixing room.
gosh.
Very interesting
Yeah.
times. And then I recorded the fully produced one in the studio with Ron at Studio 4 in Conshohocken, which is a Grammy award winning studio with some other great producers that work there. And it is not recorded live, it's recorded piece by piece. So
Mm.
we tracked one instrument at the time, which worked out well because my band is always busy and they're always it's hard to keep track of all of them, and this way we could piece it together little by little and get everybody in the studio whenever they could.
Yeah, and you got some layering on one of your tracks, Irresistible. You talk about like, okay, you're in solo and but this really sounds very full how you did that track.
Oh yeah, we it's just some extra vocal tracks.
Yeah, very, really great harmonizing and basically like really making that incredible, not just going beyond being just solo.
Yeah, oh I love singing harmonies.
Yeah. How does that feel though? Like singing with yourself, is that a little bit kind of like a strange feeling?
I can't no, I've gotten used to it.
Yeah, it's
I've
so
been
hard to
doing
hear your own voice. Like a lot of us, we just don't like, because that's a human condition. A lot of us just have like this thing about hearing our own voice back,
oh
whether
yeah.
speaking or singing.
Well, I'm starting to have that problem. Well, I did, and now I dissociate.
Yeah. I think it's the
I
only way you
do.
got to do it. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
It's just the condition. It's just
I
like
do
we
dissociate.
all just all of us are like that. It's so hard to
Yeah,
hear yourself back.
and as artists, we're expected to be content creators on top of being also singer-songwriters, and like the amount of times I have to deal with my own image on a daily basis, like if I think of it as it's somebody else, it's a product, and it's not it's not me. It is so much easier to deal with it than, because if I start thinking, oh my God, that is me, oh, I shut everything down and like never put anything out again. It's difficult. It's difficult. You put your heart and soul into these songs, and then you have to put them in front of people if you want them to be heard, and um, it's a heartbreaking process, and sometimes people build you up, and sometimes they tear you apart. It's
Yeah, that all comes with the territory in this kind of a
yeah,
business and,
yeah.
and all the arts and all these disciplines. So you always
Hmm.
have to like, hey, get a thick skin. But it's tough because it's like, no, that's me. That's my soul. I'm out here
Yeah,
in front of everybody. I'm
yeah.
sharing myself with you.
Yeah, this is me. And I have to think that that is not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You
I
know,
can protect myself.
That's really true. And I think this is something Bruce Springsteen said because I was listening to what he has to say. But he's like saying, yeah, I wish I was that guy up on that stage. It's not really
Mm,
me. It's like I'm battling depression behind the scenes. It's like that's somebody who's having a lot of fun out there. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, that's the same name, but like that's the stage version of me.
I totally get it. I totally sympathize. But back to hearing the sound of my own voice, I just
Yeah.
live as a professional singer. I live with my own voice on a day
Yeah.
to day that I've gotten used to, like overanalyzing and dissecting everything that I sing and record. So like recording harmonies is so much easier for me to record my own harmonies because I can make them
Mhm.
match my original track a lot faster than a different backup singer would. But luckily, I have two amazing backup vocalists, Sarah
Hmm.
Mingle and Molly Haber Wilson, who have been singing and playing with me for 6, 7 years. So they now sound like I'm doing my own backup vocals,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is fantastic. They're just amazing. So they just get the right inflection. They match my vowel shapes. They match my rhythm. And the beautiful thing of playing with someone for that long is that when I do small modification, when I do small improv live, they catch it, and I don't even know how they do it. Like maybe I have some signals that I do, but like they're such good listeners that if I decide to move something around, they are able to follow me, which is just great. They're great musicians.
So when you're playing live and you have your backup singers on there, do you have a feedback that you're listening to of yourself, or you just is that distracting? You'd rather just hear yourself through the monitors?
No, we just use the monitors,
Yeah.
and in fact, it's interesting when one of them is missing. I have to like retune my ear
Yeah.
to just one backup vocal. Um, So yeah, we've gotten really used to singing together.
Yeah, that's good. And you do a lot of rehearsal with your entire band and your backup singers. Do you have to do
Yeah,
very
we try
much?
to rehearse at least once before each concert, um, or once or twice. But lately luckily we have been playing more, so we usually just squeeze in one rehearsal, and then we're ready to go.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what's it like when I mean, do you do full tours or these are just basically one-offs, fly here,
So
drive here?
yeah, for now we've been doing just traveling a little bit out of our. So I'm in Philadelphia, the larger Pennsylvania area. We'll go to New Jersey for a night, and then come home, or we'll go to Delaware. Now we have a concert on the 26th in Rehoboth. It's an achievable drive. And then we come home. We're going back to Delaware in August. So like we're trying to do repeatable tracks, and building a fan, a following, a community, whatever you want to call it, in a place where we can go and easily go again. And like I said earlier, this is my first year having the freedom of organizing tours to begin with, so I haven't quite had a chance to try and flash out something longer. But I'm hoping to be able to do it. I'm going to Nashville in October, so
Oh.
that will be interesting. But yeah, I'm excited about what the future will bring.
Nashville, huh? Interesting. Have you been before? Been in the South?
I've visited, but I haven't played there. I'm
Yeah.
going to visit a friend who lives there, and she hosts a house concert series. So I will be playing her house concert series. Maybe I'll see if there are any other showcases that I can play on, and then I'll be joining conference on sync licensing, which is music for writing music for film and TV. I'm trying to learn more about that.
Expanding your horizons. Are
Yeah.
you getting into like promoting yourself with merch? That's been the big thing where they say, "Hey, you make some good money there."
Yeah, yeah, we have the vinyl. I have t-shirts. I made a crop top, which is very
Nice,
cute.
see?
I think I'm wearing it right now.
Gotta promote.
Yeah, very soft, very comfortable. For Bring on the Fire, we had a funny idea because the title of the album is Bring on the Fire. We had a funny idea of doing a hot sauce. So we still have a few
Nice.
hot sauce left. And then who knows? Maybe I'll make another hot sauce that says what keeps me alive on it. I think it
Bring
would
on the
be
Fire. That title track so reminds me of Tori Amos, who I saw a
oh,
few years back.
that's a great
Oh
compliment.
my gosh, I just, why was I blown away? Here was somebody who was so big in the 90s. I was like, oh, another pop star and everything. I saw her a few years ago at Symphony Hall here. Really
Hmm.
great acoustics and everything. And she's got like two pianos on each side of her, and she's swinging between both of them. And she
Wow.
takes some like classic songs and reinterprets them. I'm so inspired seeing something like that. But that title track to your 2019 album, yeah, it just brings up, totally conjures that up.
Hmm. Awesome.
Yeah, what a great idea. What a great idea. I mean, getting out there and merch and tying that in with your songs. It's not being a sellout. I mean, we got to know who you are. There's so much competition out there, especially in the streaming world.
Yeah, there's music being pumped constantly. I mean, I don't know what the stats are at this point, but I know the numbers are high, and now we have to compete with AI on top of
Oh
everything
gosh.
else that we're already dealing with.
I know, I
So,
know.
yeah, you gotta be creative. You gotta offer something that nobody else does, and yeah,
Boy, that's
sometimes
really,
it's
really
easier than
rough.
others.
Yeah, I just saw Boy George on TV the other
Mm,
day, and he was talking about, well, you know what though? I haven't had rights to my catalog, but I could recreate this, go through all of this, recreate it using AI, and we were doing it ethically. That's his sell. So he co-launched this company, this initiative with an
okay.
entrepreneur, and I was just like, I'm amazed that people are doing that, but you got to really label it, hey, this is AI, and some people aren't. I just get so frustrated just going across and getting like AI in my feeds on the socials and
Hmm.
everywhere. It's just so frustrating. I can't stand that.
Yeah, yeah. I it hasn't been on my feed as much because usually when I see it, I say I don't want to see this.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, like, just block this. This is slop. I can't stand it.
It is my backup singer Sarah was she lives on the second floor and the people on the first floor were having a barbecue and they had their music on shuffle. And she's like, "Oh, this is a cool song. Let me Shazam it." And it was an AI
Yeah.
artist. And what bothers me too is that they they use a lot of African American sounds to create AI music, and I don't know if that's something that I've noticed or it's something that's really happening. Like I don't know if my vision is skewed, but I've noticed it a lot, and it pisses me off.
It
It,
does. I
yeah,
mean,
it
you've
pisses me
been
off to
there.
no end. And yeah, I mean, it's not that the music is bad, it's just that it's fake, it's not real. And then I deal with voices, so I can hear it that is not human.
Yeah, you go through all that work. It's the hard work and it's such an insult. It's like
Yeah,
it didn't do anything. It didn't do any hard work to get that. And
yeah,
here
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, blood, sweat, and tears with all the stuff that you do. And it's just got to be so, so frustrating. But and then you went through so much with vocal lessons. How's that with vocal lessons? Do you just, it's a lot of breathing exercises? How does somebody like teach you to really sing well?
Um, Well, as a voice teacher, I will tell you that it is difficult.
Yeah, it's
It's
gotta
difficult.
be.
It's difficult to teach voice well, and it's difficult to learn. You have to keep an open mind because the instrument is inside your throat.
Yeah.
So we talk in metaphors, and
Mm.
I recently got my degree, a master's degree in voice. So I have gained access to a little bit more of an anatomy and physiology method of teaching, which I find it connects with people a lot better than like, the sing from your diaphragm or open your throat or
Hmm.
whatever those terms are. I don't use them anymore. And I pinpoint, for example, you have to feel feel the vibration of your sound in the hard palate. So that's something very specific and very anatomically correct that a voice student can relate to and be like, okay, I have to somehow, however you do it, you have to imagine these vibrations sort of hitting right the roof of your mouth, right? And that
Hmm.
usually it works very well. So that's how I learned and that's how I teach. And then you practice it and you just play around with these different vibrations that happen inside your head, and depending on where you place them, you get different sounds, different output, and I think it's a fascinating art.
It is. People don't realize that. And I would say most pop stars, it's just more of gut work. They hear others, they kind of inspire each other from that. So I'm
Mhm.
sure, but if there's really like a science to this too, and you
Yeah,
could
I
do
mean,
that.
I think when you hear a pop star that sings well and that knows what they're doing, you can hear the work behind it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can I can hear the technique. I mean, Pink just hosted the Tonys and she sounded incredible.
Oh,
What an incredible singer she is. We forget that she's fantastic, but like that's years and years of dedication to her craft for sure.
yeah.
So yeah, I hear it when there's good work being put behind it.
Putting those 10,000 hours in. That's so true. It's just like when you really, really just work on it and work on it, work on it. And yeah,
Yeah.
like they say, you got to start rough and you always do. That's how you are. You're human and you just got to keep doing it and you're learning as you're going.
Yeah, but it's an instrument like everything else. And the people that think, oh, I have to be talented in order to sing, like, well, you have to be talented in order to play the flute, you
Right.
know? But if you if you start with a little bit of sense of rhythm and a little bit of musical ear, you can practice your way to a better spot than where you
Mm.
started. So I've taught people how to sing that started from singing completely out of tune. So I
Mm.
think I think there is a level of improvement available for a lot more people than they give themselves credit for, like the people that say, "Oh, I'm tone deaf. I'll never learn how to sing." That's not necessarily true. You
Yeah.
can learn.
We have an intimidating culture, especially with all these competition shows. You think of
Yeah, for
Simon Cowell
sure.
saying, "You can't sing." It's like, oh, it's very, putting you down. We've been in this culture now for a long time, and it just goes
Yeah,
beyond the arts. It's so mean. And it's like,
it
if
is.
you work hard, you got the discipline, you put the practice in, you could do it. Maybe you're not going to sell a billion records, but
Right.
you can do some form of it. And there's no encouragement in this culture. I'm sorry. It's like people just feel better putting each other down.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So
It's
true.
easier. It's so much easier. Like no matter, I put content out on social media daily and rest assured that the first comments are always of people criticizing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Keyboard warriors, they're self-proclaimed critics, and it's probably, to them it gives them that dopamine hit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does. And it's a sense of power.
Yeah, yeah. The negativity is unbelievable. It doesn't look to be stopping anytime soon, but you keep your nose to the grindstone. You look at all the silver linings, the good stuff. You got a great website.
Thank you.
which is out there, and and you're marketing yourself well, and that's what you got to be out there on the socials every day.
I
It's kind of
have to,
crazy.
yes. And the I do look at the silver lining always, all the time. And if 10 people comment negative things, there's always that one person who's like, "Hey, is this song on Spotify?" Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at that. And I gained 10 new followers this week or whatever. Like it's always the numbers are always going up, and that is what I'm deciding to focus on.
Yeah. Do you look at all those stats on Spotify? Are you able to see
I
the
do,
analytics and all
yes.
that?
Yeah, I do. Not as much on Spotify as social media gives you a lot more insight than Spotify does. Um, but yeah, and they're useful information that you can manipulate to your advantage when you're booking a show. So my audience tends to be a little bit older. 24 through 45 is my ideal audience, which is great. It's usually people who drive a car, and I need to book a show in a place where they can find parking. Like if I book it in a nice venue where there are restaurants nearby and there's easy access to parking, I know that I'm gonna sell better tickets than if I book downtown on a in a walkable area,
Yeah.
in a very loud club that has no sitting room. So it gives you a lot of information if you know how to use it to your advantage. So to other artists out there, I would say do take the time to look at the statistics because they're there for you for a reason.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, you know how to do it, and you're getting out there, not just doing the music, but doing everything else too, the marketing and the touring and getting the band together. It's a lot of work. It's a
It
full-time
is.
job.
It's a full-time job. I would love for someone to relieve me of this.
Yeah. You'd like to have a payroll, but yeah, I gotta have
Yeah.
a huge budget.
Yeah. I think the manager will come once the project hits the next level
Mhm.
of numbers.
Yeah, that's what it takes. It's nice to have a cast and a crew behind you, but yeah, it's like yeah, I got to do everything here too. It's just they don't have the money. It's in the
Yeah,
time.
exactly. There's not enough money to share right now. There's enough money to pay the band and to pay myself sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, rough stuff. But
Yeah,
it's a labor of love, and that's what really
it is.
counts.
It really is.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And best wishes with the album just out now, wherever you get your music. I prefer Amazon, but anywhere else you can get it and stream it and look it up in your websites. And you could probably get it all through your website too. What
Yeah,
is the URL?
valentinasounds.com. You can order the vinyl directly from your website if anybody wants a physical copy. And then I'm on Bandcamp for, excuse me, for everything that is merch. Bandcamp is great because they are really fair to artists, and their fee is a lot smaller than most websites.
Good deal. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much and best wishes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers. And wasn't that wonderful? I had a great time speaking with Valentina. I'm so grateful to speak with such wonderful talent. Thank you so much. And thank you for stopping by. Got some good episodes coming up here. Some people who are into marketing. And we talk a little bit about that, about marketing music if you want to get into the industry. So we get into that as well. We will on a future episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye.